So, welcome everybody to the Robinwood Parents information session for 2025. I've got a quick PowerPoint to share with you, so we'll go through some of the key things. And if you do have any questions, either pop them in the chat or send them over to me so that we can see them at a later date. All right. So, first thing I should tell you is when we're going. So, we are looking at going to Robinwood between the 1st and the 3rd of December 2025. So we've booked those dates. A couple of reasons, really. We like doing it at the beginning of the year because we like the team building aspect of it, so that the children really make those bonds before they go into the what can be perceived as a stressful year in year six. It also works out significantly cheaper. So again, I won't hide that. We know that it's an expensive thing for parents to send the children to do. We want to make it as affordable as we possibly can. So the 1st of the 3rd of December is a really nice way to end autumn term. We also, historically, we've been to Todmorden, to Dobroyd Castle. But what we found a couple of years ago was that there's a brand new venue called Cross Lanes, and it's in Wrexham. This is a purpose-built centre, which is just ideal for the children because it means everything is really close in one place and it's really secure. At Dobroyd Castle, it can be a bit of a walk between some of the activities. Here, everything is on site, and it means that the children can take a bit of independence as well when moving between activities, coming for lunch and things like that. They're all on site, and everything is exactly where it needs to be. So you can see from some of the images, some of the things that there are. So there's the giant swing and the trapeze you can see at the top there. There's rock climbing at the top too. To caving and team building and canoeing and all those different events that are on there as well. This is what a typical 3-day activity program looks like. So obviously it won't look exactly like this because everybody can't be on the same activity at the same time. So it'll be a version of this over 3 days. It is very, very busy. So the children will be picked up from school first thing in the morning. As soon as they get dropped off, pretty much, we'll book the coach for around about 9 o'clock, hoping to get to Cross Lanes at around 11 a.m. And then it's pretty much straight into a packed 3-day activity. You can see there 24 hours worth of activities over the 3 days that they're there. A wake up is generally around 7 a.m. And they do that. And lights out tends to be around 10 p.m., which seems late, and the children are always really active and giddy on the first night. By the second night, they're all begging to go to bed because they're so tired. So it's a brilliant 3 days of activity. The children absolutely love it every year that we go. They all come back with amazing memories that they've made. The activities that you can see on the screen there, they are weather dependent. So some of the things, depending on what it's like, so things like the canoeing, if for any reason the lake is frozen or something like that, then they'll swap things around and mean that we can do it at a time where it's not. We've not had that, but they just warn us about it just in case it needs to get cancelled. Things like high winds can be a bit of an issue if they're doing things in the woods, so they just need to make sure that everything's safe while they're doing it. Okay, so they follow that. Our children will be split into 2 groups. So they'll be doing those things over the different periods of time, and we work really, really hard to try and work alongside the children so that they're working in groups with their friends, with people they're going to get on with, but also with some children that they might not necessarily always work with, so they can start building those relationships too. Okay. These I just wanted to share because these are some of the activities. So there's just some short sort of 50-second videos of some of the activities that are on there. So I've just got 3 to share with you so you can see. So that is the trapeze. Let me get rid of them ones. Sorry, I should go back a sec. So that is the trapeze. There's loads and loads of different things in that. Obviously, the physical element of trying to get up onto the top, and then the bravery of being able to jump off. But also, you might have noticed towards the bottom there, the children actually hold each other. So they are held up by a safety harness. But we also encourage the children to, there's a secondary sort of safety mechanism that they use, and the children help each other with that as well. So again, it's all about teamwork and looking after each other. This next video is the giant swing. I'll show you that one. So that's the giant swing. And again, it's all about teamwork, that one. They need to work with each other to pull each other as high as they need to go. They pull that rope, get them high, and then you chop the banana, they used to call it, and then the children swing off into the trees. It's a really, really exciting one for them to have a go at. That's all right. And then the climbing is this one. I'll just show you this last one. So they're just 3 of the 15 activities that the children will be taking part in over the 3 days. And as you can probably see, they're very high octane, very active, very busy ones. And yeah, the children are really, really tired by the end of the day. Just some bits of some information you need to know in terms of getting the children ready and there. Please, 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 I'll say this a few times between now and the children going, do not go out and buy anything special. We have had some of our ladies turn up in very glittery, sparkly trainers that weren't very sparkly after about 10 minutes. We've had boys turning up in brand new football kits, which again have been covered in mud within the first sort of just walking from the coach. It is really, really important that you send children in things that you don't mind them getting dirty at all. So please, please, please don't send them in anything brand new. In terms of footwear, I've got a clothing list that I'll go through in a second. But again, footwear, it's really whatever the children are comfortable in. So walking boots do work well. Wellies tend to be quite cold in the winter, so I personally would stay clear of wellies. But those walking boots that you can get that can be, it's really waterproof if you've got a pair of those already. Trainers are perfect. It's just making sure that you've got things that you don't mind getting dirty and that you can keep changing. Okay. Here's the list. It's not exhaustive, so there will be other things that you might want to add in for your children. It would say 3 t-shirts. They tend to be, because the number of times that the children get wet, they're sort of the times that they're going to need. So 3 t-shirts, 4 sweatshirts, long sleeve tops, keep them nice and warm, 3 pairs of trousers, 1 pair of shorts. So when you're in the, I know it'll be winter and it'll be cold, but if you're doing the climbing, it is actually lots comfier in shorts than it is in trousers. I can assure you of that one. Extra sets of underwear, certain activities where the children will get wet, so we just need to make sure that they've got more than one pair per day. Again, pairs of socks, a couple of pair of trainers, or just 2 lots of footwear that the children can be wearing, coats, gloves, set of nightwear, toiletries. I can't imagine you'll need the insect repellent in the warm weather, but making sure all the suntan lotion, but just making sure that they've got everything that they need. A bin liner always works well if they've got wet clothes. So rather than putting wet clothes on top of dry clothes and clean clothes in their suitcases, they can just take the wet clothes off, put them into the bin bag, and then pop that in the suitcase, and also a water bottle. The Robinwood are brilliant. They do provide really thick fleeces. So the children, if they are cold, we can add extra layers and extra layers. We have had in the past 3 or 4 different layers on top of children, on top of their sort of jackets that they've already got, just to make sure that they stay nice and warm. So there's plenty to share. And also after activities where we know they're going to get wet, where it's things like piranha pool, what will happen is the children will drop their wet clothes into a laundry basket. That'll then get taken away by the Robinwood staff. It'll get laundered, and then the clothes will then be returned to the children so they can bring them home as well. That is another reason not to buy brand new things, because things very, very rarely, but things do get lost. So please make sure you don't send them in anything that's sort of too expensive that could get lost. Where are we up to? Oh, this is what I was telling you about. So there's a drying room, and they do put clothes into the wash, so all the information's there. Sometimes things do get lost. All of those things will go into lost property. So very, very rarely, again, clothes may get damaged. So it's just about, again, making sure that you're not sending children their best or expensive clothing. Walking boots are great. Strong pair of shoes will be absolutely fine. Even though it is the winter, because everything is so close on that site, it means that everybody can get to activities really, really quickly and easily. So in terms of having long walks, they're not going to happen. Some of the centres, you do need to, at Dobroyd, you do need to get off the bus, and you've got quite a big trek from where the coaches are up to the castle. That's not the case at Cross Lanes where we go to, so that's fine. And the last one, just to say that jeans aren't suitable. If you'll know yourselves as parents, if they get wet, they get cold, and they also get really stiff. Also, leggings aren't really suitable for those outside activities because they can get really cold as well. Tracksuit, jogging bottoms are absolutely perfect, but any other trousers are absolutely fine too. So we're not expecting hot weather in December. So we don't really think you'll need to bring sun lotion and insect repellent, but a good set of warm gloves would be great. Please ensure that items brought to Robinwood have your child's name in. I'm sure that over the past few years of sending your children to Whitegate End, you'll know that sometimes things come into school and they don't always come home. It is so much easier from school's point of view and from Robinwood's point of view if the children have got their names in the clothes, because it just means that everything will get brought back. Things not to bring. So please don't bring things like mobile phones. The children won't have time to use them anyway. And they won't be allowed to sort of make those calls home. In the past, if anyone is really, really, really distressed, we'll make sure that we make a phone call home to you, but we don't anticipate the children ringing you or texting or being in contact with you over those 3 days that we're there. What we do is that everyone who's working with those groups takes a iPad with them, and what we'll do is set up an iCloud shared photo album. So all the way through the day, pretty much every time a photo is taken, it'll get uploaded into the iCloud folder, and then you'll be able to see it in the album. So you'll be able to see what the children are doing over those 3 days, and you'll probably be inundated with more pictures than you know what to do with. But they're not allowed to take their phones or cameras, even disposable ones. No computer games or iPads or personal stereos or expensive watches. Basically, just themselves with the clothes that were on the clothing list. At some centres, they're asked to bring their own bedding, but Robinwood don't ask to do that. So if anyone's ever been to somewhere like Castleshaw before, sometimes they can ask you to bring your own bedding up. That's not the case at Robinwood. They will be expected to make their own beds though. So the the laundry, the sheets will all be laid out on the beds, and the children will be expected to put their fitted sheet over the mattress. They'll be expected to put the duvet in the duvet cover, and they'll be expected to put the pillow in the pillowcase. So now may be a really good start, if you've not started already, teaching your children how to do this, getting them prepared so that they know exactly how to make the dress, and it's not a big worry for when they get there. No aerosol sprays. So if anyone is using deodorant, you just need to make sure it's roll-ons, please. It can set the fire alarms off. And as you can imagine, we're not the only school that are there. There might be 100, 150 other children there, and they won't be too pleased if we end up setting the fire alarm off at night time just before you go into bed, and everybody has to go outside in the freezing cold in December. So if you could just send roll-ons, then that would be fantastic. Okay, so the big thing, payments. I know as a dad, I know £215 is an awful lot of money. So what we wanted to do is to get this meeting together early so that you had plenty of time to spread the payments over the next 8 months it'll be. So to make it accessible, you should have already seen in your school money app that there's payments on there for all of your children to make. It's £28 a month it'll work out as for the 215, with the last payment being £27. If for whatever reason you can't see that, please let me know and we can add it to yours. Oh, and I've just not changed the date on the final payment. The final payment wasn't 6 months ago. The final payment is the 1st of November 2025. I'll correct that so that you've all got it. Just some feedback from previous years. Loving the giant swing. Robinwood's the best place to go. These are our children who gave feedback when they returned to school. How nice the people were, how they encouraged you to push yourself. We had lots of people who were nervous, really nervous, but they wanted to make sure that they gave every activity a go. Breakfast is delicious. I can vouch for that too. The food at Robinwood is fantastic and they cater for all needs. So if it's halal that you need, or if it's dairy free, or any sort of dietary need, you'll get a form nearer the time just to make sure that we specify the requirements and they will meet everything. They've dealt with hundreds and thousands of children, so they know exactly sort of how to meet everybody's needs really effectively. It was one of the best experiences ever. Everything was so fun. You will love it. A nice way to finish on that, Matt. Okay, so that's that for now. You can have a look on the website. That gives you a bit more information about the cross lanes, the actual centre. It'll also give you a bit of a flavour of some of the other activities. There's videos for almost all of the activities on there if you want to have a look. That's robinwood.co.uk. Please feel free to have a look on that. I'm just going to stop sharing, and then if anyone has got any questions in the Q&A bit, I'll try and answer those. I'll just give you a couple of minutes if anybody wants to put anything in. People typing, look. Anyone else has got any questions or anything to pop them in now? Oh, thank you. If not, then I'll leave it there. I'll let you go and enjoy your evenings. If anything comes to you sort of in the next couple of hours or so, or over the next couple of days, and you think, oh, I need to ask about that, please just get in contact with school and we can get back to you with any sort of questions that you might have. Okay. Thank you so much for coming this evening. I'll stop recording.